Let's find the factors of a quadratic trinomial. So in a form of ax squared plus bx plus c. So this is the second form of a quadratic trinomial. So if you watch the first video about this topic here, we have other form which is a squared plus bx plus c, but this time in this form the numerical coefficient of the first term is greater than 1. Okay, so that means the numerical coefficient can be 2 or more. So it has different methods and a little bit different so from the first form. And to make it clearer, let's have some examples. Okay, so we have an example of a quadratic trinomial here. We have 2 times a squared minus 5a minus 12. So as we can see here, the numerical coefficient of our first term is 2, or it is greater than 1. Unlike the first form, the numerical coefficient in the first form of a quadratic trinomial is 1. This time it is more than 1. Okay, so let's use 2 as a first term, or the numerical coefficient of this one. Okay, for the first step is we need to list all the factors for our first and last term. Okay, first and last term. So for our first term, so the factors of our first term is it can be 2a times a. Okay, so if the numerical coefficient of the first term is 2, the factors is always like this one. So we have 2a times a. So there are no other factors other than this. Okay, next is we need to write the factors for our last term here, which is negative 12. Okay, negative 12. Okay, so since the last term is a negative, so that means the sign of its factor is different. So one positive and the other one is negative. Okay, so what are the factors of negative 12? So it can be 4 and negative 3. So 4 times negative 3, that is equal to negative 12. We can also use negative 3, positive 3. Wait. We can also use positive 3 times negative 4. And then there are other like negative 1 times positive 12, or positive 12 times negative 12 times positive 1, and then 2 times negative 6, and then negative 6 times 2. But to make this video shorter, let's just use these factors as an example. So to get the factor of this quadratic trinomial in this form, it is more like trial and error. So trial and error. So we need to try and check the combinations of the factors of the first term and then the last term until the correct middle term is obtained. So we are looking for the negative 5a. Okay, negative 5a. So how do we do that? So for example, we have two quantities here, so more like trial and error. So we have 2a. Let's distribute the factors of the first term. 2a and then a. And then let's try this one here. So 4 and negative 3. 4 and negative 3. So we have negative 3 and then positive 4. Okay, so trial and error. So first, let's multiply the outer terms here. So 2a, so multiply, we multiply it. So 2a times 4. 2 times 4, that is equal to 8a. Okay, next, let's multiply the inner terms. So negative 3 times a, that is equal to negative 3a. Okay, so if we subtract them, so 8a minus 3a, that is equal to 8 minus 3, that is equal to 5a. Okay, so as we can see, this 5a here is a positive. So we are looking for the negative 5a. So that means this factor is wrong since we did not obtain the value of our middle term. Okay, let's trial and error. Let's try another one, which is 3 and negative 4. So first, let's write two quantities here. So 2a and a, and then plus 3, since this is positive, and minus 4 since this one is negative. Okay, again, same step, multiply the outer terms, which is 2a times negative 4a. So 2 times negative 4, that is equal to negative 8a, and then multiply the inner terms here. So positive 3 times positive a, so that is equal to positive 3a, and then if we add them, negative 8a plus 3a, so this is different yung sign nila. So kapag different yung sign, we actually subtract them and then remain the sign of the one with the bigger value. So that is negative 5a. And as we can see here, negative 5a. Okay, so negative 5a. So it is the same with our middle term. Okay, so since we obtain our middle term using the combination of this factor, so that means this is our answer. Okay, let me mix this one. So this is the factors of this quadratic trinomial here. 2a plus 3 times a minus 4. So it is more on trial and error. Okay, so let's have another example. So let's use 3g squared plus, let's say, 7g plus 4. Okay, so again, step 1, we need to write the factors for our first term. So since this is a prime number, so that means the only factor for this given is 3g times g. Okay, so those are the factors for our first term, and then let's write the factors for our second, or for our last term rather. Okay, so we can use 2. Since this is positive, it is more like same yung sign ng factors. Okay, so we have positive 2 times 2 or we can also use 1 times 4, like this one here. Okay, next, trial and error. So let's write two quantities. Okay, we have 3g and then g, and then let's use the first factor, which is positive 2 and another positive 2. Let's check if we can obtain the positive 7g using this factor. So first, multiply the first and the last term. So 3g times 2, that is equal to 6g. And then the inner terms, which is 2 times g, that is positive 2g. Okay, so let's add them. That is equal to 8g. And we are looking for 7g, so that means these factors are incorrect, or we cannot use that. Okay, next, let's try positive 1 times positive 4. Okay, first let's distribute the factors, 3g and g, and positive 4, and then positive 1 here. Okay, so let's check by multiplying the first and the last term. So that is 3g times 1, that is equal to 3g, plus positive 4, then positive 4 times g, that is positive 4g, and if we add them, that is equal to 7g. And there we go, we obtain the middle term. So that means the factor for this quadratic trinomial here is this one. So 3g plus 4 times g plus 1, and that's it. So that's how you get the factors of quadratic trinomial using the form ax squared plus bx plus c.